Hamster balls. Let's talk about that. So I finally wanted to make this video because I just get so many questions asking whether or not I recommend hamster balls or how people should use them or if you should use them at all. So today we are going to be talking about that. The hamster ball seems to be a very debated topic, but in my personal opinion, hamster balls shouldn't be used at all. The whole idea of a hamster ball does sound like a good idea, but when you look at it in reality, there are just far too many cons for using a hamster ball. One of the first things I do want to point out is that in Germany, the hamster ball is classified by the Veterinary Association of Animal Welfare as harmful to your hamster, and they do not recommend using it. So that is an entire country and vets who say that you should not use a hamster ball for the following reasons. The first reason is that a hamster and a hamster ball cannot properly break. Once they start going, they cannot stop. Therefore, if they start running, they are going to hit walls, furniture. If they're unsupervised, they can even fall downstairs. So overall, it can cause serious injury to your hamster. Poor ventilation. As you can see, the hamster ball has these little slits that go twice around the ball. This simply just isn't enough ventilation for your hamster, and once your hamster goes into here, they are going to have a harder time breathing because a hamster that is stressed is going to have elevated breathing levels, and there's not a lot of ventilation for them to properly get the air they need. Another issue is that these ventilation holes are just big enough for a hamster's toe to get caught and stuck, which can result in a broken or sprained hamster toe, and this has happened before to other people. Hamsters are naturally short-sighted. They can only see a couple of inches in front of their face. So putting a hamster into a hamster ball, regardless if it's colored or clear, makes it nearly impossible for the hamster to actually see where it's going. Essentially, if you were put into a hamster ball, it would look something like this. Pretty hard to see, eh? So since hamsters have such terrible vision, they mainly use their sense of smell and hearing to explore the world. But once they're put into a hamster ball like this, both of those senses are very limited due to the fact that this is hard plastic and the lack of ventilation. So without having any of your senses to navigate throughout the world, it can be quite stressful. Imagine being basically almost blind and trapped somewhere where there is no exit. Not to mention that if you do have other animals roaming around, the animal might be curious. Like if you have a dog, they might be curious. They come up, they're sniffing the ball, or a cat comes up, maybe taps the ball. That can be very frightening to a prey animal, which a hamster is, and they can't go anywhere. They're trapped in this ball and they have to sit there in fear because they can't go anywhere. Another thing that happens actually quite a lot is the lids aren't the most secure things, and I have seen hamsters who run and hit the wall so hard the lid pops off and then your hamster escapes. I think a lot of people tend to think their hamster enjoys running in their hamster ball because the hamster is running, so that should mean they like it, right? Not exactly, because a panicked animal who is trying to escape something is going to end up rolling because the ball is round, so any which way you try to escape, it's going to end up moving. Your hamster is going to end up looking like they're running and enjoying it, which they're most likely not. Another issue we run into is a hamster cannot tell you if they would like to leave the hamster ball or if they even wanted to go in it at all. It would be similar to something like an alien who obviously doesn't speak the same language as you, and they start talking in their language, you have no clue what's going on, they grab you, they put you in this contraption, and you're like, where the heck am I? What am I supposed to do? You can't exit, you have to wait until they let you out, and that is quite terrifying. I know a lot of people say that if they take the hamster ball, they put it up to their hamster's cage, their hamster will climb in, and that means they clearly like the ball, but I disagree with that because I can put pretty much anything up to my hamster's cage and they're going to hop in simply because they enjoy coming out of their enclosure, because hamsters are explorers. They like to explore things, that are curious, they want to run around. Doesn't necessarily mean they want to go in this circular contraption. There are so many other ways you can properly exercise your hamster, like using a hamster-safe playpen, free roaming them in a hamster-safe room. You can even use a dry bathtub as a playpen. This way you even get to interact and bond with your hamster, unlike using a hamster ball, which you don't get to interact with them because all of their senses are cut off and they're running around by themselves. In conclusion, I just don't see using a hamster ball as worth it because there are so many more cons than there are pros overall, and there's lots of other ways to bond and get your hamster to exercise. Now, the reason I have a hamster exercise ball here is not because I use one, but because back in 2009, I also thought, hey, that's kind of a good idea to get your hamster to run around and explore, and eventually I learned it's actually not. And so this has been in storage for about 8 years now, but I think that's just a good way to show you guys it's okay to make mistakes. It's whether or not you change them once you learn that they may not be the best thing. So mistakes are okay to make, and anybody who makes mistakes shouldn't be shamed for it as long as they plan on not doing the mistake again. I hope this video has been able to help anybody who has been wondering if they should get a hamster ball, or maybe if you currently use one. I hope it's helped you kind of understand a little bit more into why they really just aren't suitable for a hamster. So yeah guys, thank you for watching. Bye!